Well guys, 2 years later, we're still in it. We're still in it. So, crazy turn of events, as always. This car is cursed, or maybe we just, I don't know, a bit stubborn. I think it's a combination of things. But we pretty much figured out the issue, and it's because of this. I don't know if the camera can focus on it, but that's a 100 ohm resistor. So, I'm gonna try to make this quick to not bore you guys, but summarize, this is what the car looks like. It almost looks identical to what it did 2 years ago, but there's been some changes, specifically wiring. So we had a mess with this thing. So we're gonna go down the AGT route, and for those of you guys that don't know, so AGT is a canbus solution. So it allows us to pretty much translate GM signals over to what would be stock FRS, Toyota, Subaru, mix of those. So anyways, that did not work out. We had so many issues with the harness. We had the translator replaced. In the course of getting the translator replaced, we literally waited like, what was it, like a year, Justin?
Almost,
It was like a whole ass year, because I think at the time there's this shortage of parts, chips specifically.
Chips, yeah.
So we couldn't even get that thing replaced, so we were just kind of dead in the water. Reached out to another guy out in California, tried his computer, and that was like half the price. Didn't do shit. So stored it away, have the AGT computer and then, or translator, and then have that second one. Anyways, so at that point I said, F it. We're gonna just put a standalone system in this thing and get it going. So we ordered a standalone harness and got it plugged in. Yeah, so now we're going down the standalone route. And this has been in this situation for, I wouldn't say too long. I mean, yes, it's a long ass time.
Yeah.
But we ran into a couple snags, couldn't get it to fire up, and I think we did a couple times, but it was just kind of like choking in and out. And we've literally been working on this car probably, I would say, on the weekends now. Again, just trying to figure it out. We don't want to create boring ass content at the same time. I feel like that was just hurting us. As a matter of fact, we left off with this guy last time. I don't know if you guys looked at that last video or not. I guess about this thing, we'll recap it later if you guys care or not, but I'm talking like we have a huge ass following and shit. Anyways, so we started to mess around with this thing, wouldn't fire up. So then I was a little iffy that there was maybe issues with the harness, started going through the harness, started going through every single wire, exactly with like what we did with the AGT harness. It felt like we were doing the same shit over again. So, but we didn't give up. So let's check this thing out. So I guess right off the bat, we found that this wire was missing and it needed 12 volts. So I don't remember what that does. And then the last wire that we literally figured out this week, like it would have been Monday, it's pin 52. It's this red wire right here. So pin 52 is for the start enable relay. So for you LS guys, I guess, that understand or have HP tuners, from my understanding, I've never used HP tuners but like reading, you have to disable that, and then I think you can also disable the start enable relay. So we don't have the computer, we don't have the ability to do that yet, maybe in the future. So, and then I saw a thread about a guy putting a 100 ohm resistor on it. So at that point, we went to talk to a local shop, and we were gonna take the car to the shop. At that point, we were just like, done. We're gonna take it to the shop, let them figure out the harness side of things. But we wanted to learn. We didn't want somebody to do it for us. We wanted to learn how to do it, because at the end of the day, if they fix it, it's up and running, I won't know what the issue is. I wanna be able to do this again and keep doing it. And it's what we enjoy doing. So that's part of the reason why we started this build. So anyways, the guy happened to have a 100 ohm resistor. So we get home, and I know it looks a little messy down here, but we're just extending the wire here. It's a little rigged, but we put the 100 ohm resistor on this end, and I literally grounded the goddamn thing, and we fired it up, and the engine turned on. So this wire was missing, that wire was missing, and that was it. So the car officially turns on. And yeah, so now we're at the point where we can actually continue and start focusing on everything else. We kind of put a stop on buying parts until this thing was up and running. Didn't really know where things were gonna go. We weren't gonna get rid of the car. We were gonna finish it one way or another. So just because the car can start, we're gonna go ahead and fire it up for you guys. All right, hit it. Well, we got that taken care of. There's a bunch of smoke coming out. We don't have O2 sensors, so this thing is just going like pig rich. So got some stuff on order. Gonna go ahead and keep working on this thing. All right, guys, so for today's video, we're gonna be installing this dipstick because the car does not have one. So we have our aftermarket oil pan, and it does have a bung on it, but it's currently blocked off. So this is our Moroso oil pan and dipstick. So what we got to do first though is drain it. So car does have oil in it, and like Justin said, we already did 2 oil changes on it, and it still doesn't start. So we're gonna go ahead and get the oil drained. We got to measure 6.5 quarts, and then we also have to adjust. So here's our full line. So the way this works is we got to get our dipstick in there, pun intended, and we also then need to either elevate it or lower it, right?
Yeah, elevate or lower.
So, and it's got to land right on that fill line. So the engine is primed. Theoretically, we should have oil in all of our lines. So we're just gonna put the 6.5 quarts in there. And yeah, so let's give that a shot. Fingers crossed.
We don't remember what we have in it after 2 years.
What, like oil?
How much oil we have?
I don't know.
That's the only reason why
We know it's full. It's got to be at least 6. So good thing we got some empty, well, close to empty jugs. So we're gonna take all of that oil, place it in here, nice and clean, hopefully. And actually, is that a bad idea?
What?
I mean, it should be fine, right?
I think it should be fine.
Yeah, first, it's not like it's been running for 500 miles or anything like that.
Yeah, unless the oil's a little sparkly or some shit.
Then we got a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Then we can say that shit. But good news, this took a lot longer than expected, just like this whole build. The oil pan dipstick is good to go. So that's gonna be the overall position right here. And just had to like bend it in place a little bit so we could have clearance, and then obviously away from heat as best as we can. I think that's a good spot. I think it's pretty. The only thing that concerns me is that it has a seal around it, like where it seals up, like in here. Mm-hmm. It should be fine.
Right? I think so.
I guess if it melts, then
I think it's made for heat. So if it melts, I think it
should be all right. Yeah, so we should be good, and then we'll transition to the interior. So we'll take it little by little. So thanks again for watching, guys. Really excited. I'm so happy this thing fired up, and now we can actually bring content back like on a weekly basis. So what were you doing? Like at some point we were doing like 2 videos a week or something.
Yeah, I think once a week.
Once a week. So we're definitely gonna make that the goal, if not better.
Yeah, I agree, for sure.
Gonna knock on wood. Let's make sure that we don't run into any other hiccups. I ordered a bunch of parts, like everything that I need, just trying to keep the content coming. So thanks again, guys. Thank you for watching.